right, everybody, welcome out to this episode of The Main Talk. I'm Dylan Sasser.
Jaydan.
And we're joined today on the set with Norman Dinkins. So Norman, we're going to go ahead and start out with your story today. And you're doing on software engineering?
Oh, yeah. So basically, I was watching this TED Talk. The ones about the computers are always the coolest ones. And
arguably.
Yeah. So I found out in a Microsoft study in 2012, they figured that 1.4 million jobs in software engineering and just computer science in general will open up by 2020. And only 400,000 people are going to graduate with those skills.
Why would you say that? Why is only 400,000 people going to graduate? Is it just because it's kind of not very interesting of a subject to take in school, or is it just seems kind of hard for people to get into?
Well, yeah, not necessarily hard. It's daunting. When you look at all these software companies, you see like everybody that works at Google gets gourmet food for free all the time, and you think you have to be a crazy smart person to have those benefits and be paid so much. But really, anybody can be a computer engineer, software engineer, whatever. All it takes is learning the skills. It's just like learning math, learning how to speak a language when it comes to computer languages. But the reason that so few people will graduate college with those skills is that they did a study. It's not super scientific, but basically everybody in the audience at that talk, she asked them to raise their hands if they had tried something with their major before college, and like everybody raises their hands. So the reason that people choose their majors usually is it's not because they hear about something and they go, oh, that's really cool, I'm going to major in that. It's because they were already exposed to it and they already sort of knew what that occupation did.
Especially since they already kind of decided, like I do video and that's what I want to do. Because I've decided that's what I like.
Right.
So.
Yeah, from what I understand when you were telling us, pitching to us your story, you're talking a lot about like high school training to be able to get these kind of jobs, like what kind of programs that are being offered. Oh, yeah. And we talked a little bit about this last time, I believe, on the show. High school is a great place to be able to learn how to do these specific jobs. Like, Mr. Peary here at the high school offers a huge selection of video classes, from anywhere from journalism to doing an actual live broadcast, which is really impressive. I'm not very familiar with the other job-related
CTE classes.
Yeah, CTE classes that are offered here at Payson High School. Do you take any other ones, Norman?
I took computer programming last year, which is why I was already pretty much exposed to it. I took marketing as well. Marketing was a lot of fun. Not really that much else. Like, this is my CTE class. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Do you know how much years of college it takes to be able to graduate with computer engineering?
Oh, so for computer engineering, fun fact, the study in Microsoft, it said that only 400,000 people are going to graduate, which means 1 million jobs are just going to be open and they won't be filled by the free market. It's misleading. That 400,000 number is the number of people that will graduate college with a computer programming or engineering degree. But really, you can be learning these skills right now. It's coding.
If you take these classes in high school, is there a good chance that you can get out of high school and get one of these jobs?
Not necessarily.
So you need a college degree?
No, not that either. Usually it'll be a trade school or something.
Oh.
The problem with computer programming and really computer science in general in high school, you have the entry-level computer tech class that you can take in 9th grade and they encourage you to take in 10th grade. That's not really computer science or anything. It's not computer technology you're learning. You're learning how to use Microsoft.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Those were so much fun.
Disgust me, the memory of that class. I mean, I love Coach Beck as a teacher, but I hated his class with a passion.
Yeah, no, I took it in 9th grade, and it was basically a keyboarding class where we also learned some Microsoft Word and Excel. That's not computer technology. And the problem with the whole thing with the public education and learning computer programming in high school is that very few districts teach computer programming. And even with the computer programming classes in the district, there's no guarantee that it's a good class. So if you're a young company and you want to hire the best engineer, it's not really about having taken the classes and having gotten the degree. It's more about being a proficient coder. When you're talking about coding and stuff, it's just translating an idea, a process, into a language that the computer can understand. It's simple.
Do we have one of those classes here at Payson High?
So yeah, I took the computer programming class at ALC.
Okay, so is it an ALC one then?
It's an ALC class, and it's a good class. You have the potential to learn, but you have to try to learn.
And that's how a lot of ALC classes are. I mean, they're college level classes basically over there. So, I mean, obviously that's a great place to go. They'll get like realistic, real world training. Is from the ALC. Well, I'm sure we could go on and on talking about this topic, but unfortunately we only have a little bit of time. So for sure go to Norman's article and watch his video about software engineering coming out in March. Our next article is from one of our newer recruits to the class, is Jessica Roulette, and she's doing kind of something we've never really done in the magazine. It's kind of talk about like real world issues and give like her opinion on it. And she's doing, her topic this month is man versus Earth, which is kind of a very controversial topic nowadays with like global warming, if it's fake or if it's not. I personally do not believe that global warming is caused by man, honestly, because like look at the Ice Age. It was cold back then, and then it heated up. There was no humans back then. Well, there was, but they didn't have like aerosol cans and stuff like that. So
yeah, for sure.
The other issue that I found with that whole debate is that there's a clear plan of action in place. The question is not, is global warming happening? It's what are we supposed to do? Is it worth it to compromise people's freedoms to save the planet? It's not to save the planet. The planet's going to be here forever,
no matter what we do,
until the sun explodes. The problem here is the sanctity of the human life and whether preserving a few lives in the future is worth it in the grand scheme of things.
There are a lot of issues happening currently with global warming. Like there's droughts in Africa that have been going on for years.
If you look at it though, this year, like California, they're flooding right now.
Yeah, they've been
how much moisture they're getting.
They just got off a 7-year drought, so. And you got the ice caps that are melting up north and the south. It's just, I don't know. And to me,
well, actually, the ice caps aren't melting yet. They're getting warmer.
Oh.
Nothing is melted yet. The ocean has not risen The ocean has not risen one bit, but the ice is getting warmer and it's getting to the melting point. It's not at the melting point yet, but it will be a real problem in the future. The question is, what do we do about it, and should we do anything about it?
I think that I agree with what you said earlier, that no matter what we do, the planet's going to go on. I think this could be the most wrong opinion on the entire planet, but I don't claim to be any sort of scientist. I'm just a guy with a microphone currently. And I think we should just ride it out. If we die, we die.
We'll be safe here.
Yeah, I got water.
If everything melts, we'll be safe here in Utah.
We got plenty of snow. What are you guys talking about?
Definitely.
California might be gone, but
who needs California anyway?
Yeah, they're seceding from the Union, for goodness sakes.
Yeah. Who cares if they're like the biggest market here in
Disney World's
United
better than
States right
Disneyland.
Yeah.
You got like 6 NFL teams though.
Although Disney World and Disneyland will probably be gone.
Oakland, the Raiders moving out of California.
Well, that's true.
It's a sign of things
That's
to come.
one less.
We're finally gonna have a local NFL team.
Yeah,
Kind of.
I mean,
it's only 5 hours. Like
it's
not
closer than
Yeah,
Denver.
it's like 6 hours.
It's closer than Denver.
I'll be going to games.
I would.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
definitely.
So, talking about sports, which is kind of a perfect way to segue into this, I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah.
Here at Payson High School, we have a very unique program. I don't know how many other schools do this kind of thing. But we have a sports broadcasting program here. Me and Jaydan are heavily involved in it in the sense that
sure.
You and Tanner are there at every game, basically. I have some schedule conflicts, and sometimes my Netflix schedule gets in the way of me going to games, but I make it to the ones I can or want to go to.
And Tanner could be on here talking about it, but he's being a little baby and sitting off camera.
But we're happy to have Norman.
You could actually hear him if he spoke right now.
Yeah, probably.
So, some of our sports broadcasting thing, we do kind of like what we do with the Pride and for the live show, which unfortunately got deleted. Us as a Main Street Journal class, we worked really hard on
Wait,
this.
that got deleted?
45-minute long.
When the TriCaster reset this morning, everything was deleted. It was bad.
So, it was a great show, and I wish we could have showed it to you guys, but unfortunately...
We'll probably have to go through it.
Are we doing one for March?
Yeah, we will be doing one for
Oh,
March.
sweet.
That was a good run through, and I'm glad no one got to see it, but...
Yeah, it was a little rough. We didn't really have any run-throughs or anything because it was a long show.
Anyway, so the sports broadcasting class.
So we have 2 anchors, or announcers.
That's what I love doing the most.
And that's what
is
me and
announcing.
you have done
So.
tons of games together. 3 or 4 basketball games, and then I don't know how many football games. We did homecoming together.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool opportunity to be able to do that kind of thing because, I mean, this is the line of work I want to go into, is being like a sports announcer or like a TV anchor.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I might not have the best voice for announcing, but I like doing it because I know what I'm talking about. And
Your voice is smooth, Jaydan.
Oh, yeah.
That was hot.
Not really.
So, but with that, we got like a tech director. Tanner's one of the best tech directors in the school when it comes to
State.
Oh, not...
if not the state.
Yeah, he's pretty dang good at the TriCaster job, so...
Our floor director, Daniel, he's really good at like scoreboard and like 3-play and cameras. He's
he's a really good camera.
Swiss
guy.
Army knife.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, running cameras is hard.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
You always have to... Like, I was doing the game last night, and I was TriCasting, because I need to learn more about the TriCaster.
Don't we?
And the camera people, I'm not going to say their names or anything, but there was times where they would be on the other side of the court where there was nobody there, and they were on the other side of the court for 10 seconds, and you didn't get any action.
And see, I think that's part of what makes the sports broadcasting program so good, is that ESPN is going to be looking for experienced cameramen, because it is a hard thing to do.
Oh yeah, especially when you're like doing like pro football. Like you watch those camera shots, they're really good camera shots. If you've done them before, like to be zoomed in that close to like a football that's going across the field as fast as it's going,
and be able to follow
keep
it. Yeah.
In the middle of the screen is a really good skill to have.
And they're even able to catch penalties really well, and like close touchdowns from there.
It does help though that they have a lot more cameras than we do, so they can focus on certain players or stuff like that. So
yeah.
So we just had a basketball game yesterday, girls and boys basketball. So I would encourage you guys to go check that out on Scalooza as soon as it's up, and let's kind of see what we're doing here in the sports broadcasting program. But another one of the sports we broadcast is the wrestling, and they are in the middle of tournament season.
Yeah, they're just about to go to the state tournament, I think, next week.
Will we have any more
week.
home matches?
I don't know. I think
no, there's no more.
Okay.
That's
the last home match was a couple weeks ago.
So we did broadcast that last home match. I'd encourage you to go watch that. It was a really good meet.
Yeah.
It was against Wasatch, and they're good wrestlers over there in Wasatch. One of the few wrestling teams that can kind of
keep up with
challenge us and they soundly whooped us.
Nah, man, we challenged them like since the Sanderson brothers were there in the 90s.
And it doesn't help that we have a lot of injuries during that game. We're coming back with a lot of our starter varsity players. Wrestlers, I guess.
You don't play wrestling.
Yeah. Our starting varsity wrestlers are coming back for the state tournament that have been injured. So
awesome.
So Norman, you're involved a little bit with the wrestling program.
Oh, I was.
Oh, you were?
I'm too big of a sissy to do anymore.
See, that was one of my issues with the with wrestling. It was like such a violent and aggressive sport. Like, and another thing, like you're so close to that guy. Like you're.
I don't like
No,
the
no.
singlet.
Oh, it's so awkward. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's actually movement to get away from the singlet in high school, at least. They're moving towards getting like compression T-shirts and short shorts. Is that
I
better?
like that more.
See, I would feel a little better,
Yeah.
but a singlet is just not enough for me
Don't
to be
need-
wrestling
No.
around with another guy.
And you said it was a really aggressive sport. Like, it's so much more finesse than you think it is.
Really?
Yeah.
It
Like,
doesn't really look that aggressive to me.
No.
And the other part is like, I don't really like the feeling of how I'd have to like go a week without eating to make
Oh, I like
something like that.
No. Too many laws to go a week without eating. They don't let you lose a certain amount of weight each week. You're forced to be benched. It's a safe sport. It's a like you have to be really smart to wrestle well. And you'll find those guys that are really strong and they just try to go with the brute force. They'll lose almost every time, even though it looks like they're dominating.
So there's a lot of
It's all about-
misconceptions about sport, wrestling.
Oh yeah. Manly sport out there, in my opinion.
Debatable. You are wrestling in what's kind of comparable to a woman's swimming suit with another dude on a sweaty mat.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a
Rolling
clean
around.
mat. It's a sanitary sport. I don't know.
Rolling around with another guy. Anyway,
It's not rolling around. It's compete. It's fight. You're trying to dominate the other guy. A pin, like it looks like you just hold them down for 3 seconds. You are holding them down against their will, and they are unable to move because of you. That's not rolling around. That is fighting.
Agree to disagree on this, but once again, we do got to move on for sake of time purposes. Talk about our last topic for today, which is Freshman Day, which is like it's not something that we'll be very much involved with unless we could chosen to go work a booth or something.
That's the day where we round up the freshmen to haze them, right?
Yeah. But so all the freshmen from Mount Nebo and Payson Junior High come up to the high school, and we kind of pitch our clubs to them and some of our programs. And I'm hoping that this year we'll have a huge broadcasting table set up. In the past, we've only had we've brought down the Pride logo and
Yeah.
just a few simple backgrounds. But I'd like to do something more this year. And I mean, we've never had an issue with numbers, but I'd like to see our numbers grow, especially here in the Main Street Terminal class. We're one of Perry's smallest classes, which I'm not totally.
not so much
No,
this
not
semester.
like this semester. We
It's
got like
full,
8 new people.
So Freshman Day is an excellent. I loved Freshman Day when I was a freshman, and I participated in the bands booth my sophomore year, and that was quite an experience. Kind of trying to make bands. The thing is about like some clubs, like band, orchestra, choir. It's only interesting to
People who do that.
Yeah. So people come up to the table and they're like, "Hey, what you guys doing?" And we're like, "Well, we got instruments set on the table, so I'll give you one guess." And they're like, "You got any candy or drawings or anything? Unless you want a band
Oh, yeah.
T-shirt, we got candy. That's about it."
That's the best part about freshman day, though.
But like broadcasting and video production, I mean, we're a pretty pleasing class to take. Like people look at us like, "Oh man, I can make my Lego videos."
Because like if you're good with if you like sports broadcasting.
Yeah.
If you like doing stories, broadcast journalism's great. If you just like
Just making videos. I
Any
take
other
video
class.
production, the Pride, everything's good for just making videos.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
So we'd like to, as we're slowly beginning to run out of time here, I'd like to make a quick pitch for our next show next week. We will be having another guest. We're happy to have Norman here on the show today.
Glad to be here.
We're gonna be featuring a couple of band and orchestra students to talk about Soul and Ensemble, which is we'll go into more detail about that next week. But be sure to tune in next week. The last week's episode of the main talk is now up on YouTube, so be sure to go check out that and check out our first episode as well. But that's all time we have for today. And also check out us on iTunes. Hopefully soon.
Whoa.
We're working on that.
That's legit.
That'll be cool to be able to have that on iTunes.
Yeah, so that'll just another platform we can reach you guys in. Another thanks to all of the viewers who watch the show. You guys mean a lot to us. You make what we do worth it.
Oh yeah, especially if you watch through the entire thing.
Yeah.
We might become boring. We're sorry about that, but
Give us
We try.
feedback. Tweet us on Twitter. Face us on Facebook. Is there a word to use for that? I like
or just comment down below.
yeah, in the
Yeah,
YouTube
below.
subscription. And signing off from all of us here at the Main Street Journal, I'm Dylan Sasser.
I'm Jaydan Openshaw.
And I'm Norman.
We'll catch you next time.